Welcome! We are Two Finger Spirits. We got the camera guy
back here.
We got the live studio audience.
Woo!
And I'm Brandon. And look what we got here.
What do we got here?
We got a straight rye whiskey from the Old Pepper Distillery.
All right.
This happens to be a store pick from Green Farms Spirits. They got 3 locations. I think one in Westport, Connecticut, one in North Haven, Connecticut, which is Save Right Liquors, and this one was picked up in the Wallingford location. You like that little squeak?
Yeah.
So this is Old Pepper Distillery. This is aged 4 years. It's a single barrel. I believe it's cask strength.
Thank you.
And this is donated to us by our friend Gary. We're very thankful to Gary. He's a hell of a guy. You know what today is?
What is today?
No idea.
It's a repeal day?
Repeal Day. This day in 1933, the 21st Amendment, which repealed Volstead Act, prohibition.
Interesting.
Yes. This bears on almost all the bottles, I think, if I've seen from old the James E. Pepper, it says "Born with the Republic." Can you see that there?
Yep.
Born with the Republic.
It's blurry, but we'll see it.
So what's more American than repealing that stinking Volstead Act, huh?
Terrible act.
Yeah. So this Mashbill is 95% rye,
Wow.
5% malted barley.
All right.
I believe it's from the Midwest Grain Products. You know who that is?
MGP?
MGP. I think some of it may be from their own distillery, but I know at least a portion of it is from MGP.
And they started barreling this back in 2017. From what I understand, they shut this down for about 50 years. Actually, from what the bottle
Correct.
says.
Yeah, correct.
So they started distilling again back in 2017. They're using some juice from MGP, but they're up and running, and this is the first of it, from what I gather.
Yeah, I think that's right. So this is about $45. And you can get it. I mean, this is a store pick, obviously, but you can get this bottle. It actually won Best Rye at a World of Wine and Spirit event in 2018.
Really?
You can get it on Flaviar for like $67 plus shipping. And you don't need a subscription to Flaviar to order bottles from them.
Yeah, we've ordered a couple from
Yeah,
there. They're
yeah. We got the James E. Pepper sherry cask finished rye.
You're right,
that
did.
we all loved.
Yep.
I don't love it as much as I used to. There was when I was kind of new to it, and I like the finished in bottles. But
now that we go back to it, I feel like it's a little
too sweet for me. Yeah.
Interesting how your palate can change.
It really is.
But still a great one.
Right. So I think let's take a look at the color.
All right, let's do some color here.
Yeah, that's not as dark as you would think for 4 years and being cask strength, but it's a nice color. It's like a light honey or a dark like peanut oil, huh?
Yeah, I agree. And you can see the legs running a little bit.
Yeah, they kind of beat up for a little bit, hang out, and then drop a little bit, kind of slowly. It's nice.
Very nice. Let's go taste it.
So this is aged 4 years. It's got a nice smell to it.
Great smell.
What do you got? I got spearmint, dill, light ethanol, some barrel char.
Yeah, when I first was nosing this, I thought it was a very low proof whiskey because I never want to know what the proof is.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this has to be a lower proof, like in the 90s.
Yeah.
Turns out it's 110.
110, right?
Which, spoiler alert, you will taste it on your first sip.
Oh, will you?
Oh yeah, but I tell you, it smells fantastic.
You don't get that on the nose.
You don't get the ethanol. That's
heavy
why.
ethanol.
So you would think that it's a lower proof. It's not, but I get the spearmint.
You know what I get with that spearmint is you ever take a gum out of a wrapper and it's got that dust around it? I get that on the nose. The dust from a piece of like Wrigley spearmint gum.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Do you get that?
Yes, I know exactly what you're saying. Well, I bet a lot of people are also know what you're referring to.
And I get the char from the barrel, spearmint, dill, light
Very
ethanol.
strong rye smell.
I get sweet oak.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm feeling a little thirsty though. What do you think?
Let's go for it. Mm.
Dill, leather, raisins, butterscotch, vanilla on the palate. Finish, still the dill, some leather, some spearmint, pleasant burn, orange peel, the char, and then finishes at the end of the finish with like bitter tannins.
I get a lot on the finish. I get a lot of orange peel. Not citrus, but like
I got the orange peel.
That's
as well.
dominant for me. It could be different for others, but only on the finish it's dominant. But not citrus. It's orange peel.
Orange peel.
Yeah, almost like the bitterness of it.
Yeah, slightly bitter, but
flavor.
pleasant. Very
it's
pleasant.
Fantastic.
And I'm gonna say it's not your typical rye.
Right.
You definitely know it's a rye, but it's not your typical rye.
Yeah, when I think of a rye, I'm thinking more of that winter rye, that chocolate rye taste and smell.
I do get some cocoa on this.
I don't get much. Not like the other ryes, like the Litchfield rye. Yeah, I don't know.
That Litchfield rye, I wasn't a fan.
Yeah, but it does have, but it has that dominant cocoa rye, winter rye taste and smell
rye,
to it.
Winter rye.
Same thing with the Balcones. There's a completely different rye beast.
Rye, that Texas rye.
Yep. So anyway, there's rye. Like it has a really great rye taste. Just not the rye I'm typically used to with those other ones.
Right. You can tell it's a rye, but it's not your typical rye.
Not for I drink the Balcones. So to me it's different.
But Balcones is a completely different rye as well. But that's not a typical
That's
rye.
my point. It's completely different than it's like an opposite of the rye, but it's still a rye.
But it's even different than your typical ryes like the Sazerac or even the New Riff rye,
or
which
that
is fantastic. The Sagamore rye, yeah, it's different than that. It's different than the Knob. It's different than your typical ryes.
Right.
Suffice to say, right? But very good in its own right.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. Mm. You get a little honey on the finish now. Like a little sweetness, but like a honey sweetness.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Mm.
Like honey over an orange, because I still get that orange. And you said the orange was dominant on the finish. It does present itself more, but I think overall this is a very nicely balanced whiskey, right? Balanced rye. There's nothing that's too dominant for me. It kind of transitions from, spearmint and dill on the nose to like a dill and leather and spearmint on the palate, and then finishes with that nice orange peel, some honey, some leather on the back end of the finish there, and then kind of fades into like a little bit of bitterness. Fairly long finish too, right?
Yeah, it does linger.
Yeah, I like that. I like this a lot. I think it's very good. I think they did a great job picking this barrel. I would definitely want another bottle of this.
I agree. I would have another bottle of this. It's a store pick, so you obviously can't keep it in stock.
And this came out a while ago, not to interrupt you, but it came out a while ago. I think it's been out for 2-3 months now. And I think there's still a few bottles left in the Wallingford store. But
Yeah,
sorry for cutting you off.
that's good for anyone that's local around
local.
here. If you can find this where you are, even if it's not the Green Farm store pick, which it won't be, it's worth checking out.
Yeah.
I think it's a reasonably priced rye that has a nice flavor, it has a nice finish. I would keep this on the bar.
I would definitely get this
And I would
again.
pour this for people.
And I've seen it on Flaviar.
Yeah.
Flavia? I don't know.
I don't know. We try our best with that. But I gotta tell you, I would pour this for a friend that likes fries.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add about it?
No.
You want to hear the quote?
I do.
If at first you don't succeed, drink whiskey.
What?
You know-
That's probably why I drink so much whiskey.
Do you know who said that?
Who?
I did. Didn't you just hear me?
Cheers, everybody.